trying to heal our ego's fear and live from our happily loving divine selves instead, it's oh so helpful to play detective and find out what is hidden from view in our shadow. The shadow is that helpful place where we were able to stash icky feelings and situations we couldn't handle when we were growing up. Regrettably, our shadow, aka the unconscious guilt we've been talking about, is likely still buried to this day. And we know it exists when something happens out there that triggers negative feelings in here, like fear or anger or anxiety. The difficulty is discovering what's in our shadow because we are uniquely blind to it. It's in the dark for us, in a blind spot. But there are surefire cues that point us in the right direction. One such clue is when we hear ourselves say these words with intensity. How could anyone blah blah blah? Or I would never blah blah blah. We're projecting something we don't want to see in ourselves onto them. And it may not be that exact behavior that I've blocked from my own awareness, but a variation or even a metaphor, so it makes it especially difficult to see it in myself. But rest assured, I wouldn't be so upset if that thing weren't hitting something I'm very sensitive to that I don't want to see in myself. For example, litter is a huge trigger for me. I think, how could anyone throw their trash on the ground? It's so ugly, harmful to animals and the environment, and just plain rude and thoughtless. I compulsively pick up litter on my twice daily walks. I do recognize my hypervigilance toward litter. I see how it affects me way more than anyone else, so I know my shadow is trying to tell me something. And for the past few years, I've really been trying to figure it out. I tried lots of forgiveness, though I wasn't always successful because I couldn't seem to see litterers as anything other than guilty for long. But very recently it hit me. The words I used in my accusation finally tipped me off. How can anyone put their garbage where it doesn't belong? Thanks to my recent studies, I saw my behavior in a whole new light. While no, I wouldn't literally litter, I have always put my garbage where it doesn't belong. Growing up, my family, fortunately, was never bigoted against race, religion, skin color, sexual preference, or any of those obvious targets. Those were non-things in my world, thank goodness. But we were very judgmental in our conversations and beliefs about what people should or shouldn't do, and how they should or shouldn't behave or look. Even today, even though I don't want to judge, I still routinely lay my preferences and expectations unconsciously on other people. I think to myself, she would look a lot better if she wore blah blah blah. Or if she was just nicer, then things would work out so much better for her. What right can I possibly have to impose my likes and dislikes onto another person? Oh my gosh, this may be a no-brainer for you, but it hit me like a ton of bricks. Since then, I've been much more conscious of letting other people look and behave and live their lives as they prefer, rather than as I prefer. And I felt so much more love in and around me, and you won't believe this, but I've seen significantly less litter out there. This is the gift of the shadow. When we finally take responsibility for our own upset and shine the light of truth on that shadow, we're no longer triggered by that outer thing, and we're blessed with peace where distress used to reign supreme. Let's explore our shadow's secrets so we can truly shine that divine.